Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyam Mamritat. Chanting this Mahamrityunjaya Mantra and also chants of Har Har Mahadev, thousands and thousands of pilgrims are making their way to Tibet for this holy Mount Kailash and Mansarovar Yatra. India Today gets you this special broadcast from an altitude of 15,100 feet in Darchin, and we will over the course of the next half hour get you detailed interaction with devotees and pilgrims about what's good in this journey, what has been better and what can be made better. So let's embark on this holy journey to Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar with the chant of Har Har Mahadev. यहाँ से मैंने देखा तो एकाएक आंखों में पानी आ गया वो, और पता नहीं चला क्यों। क्या यही आपकी अनुभूति थी?
पूरी टीम की हमारी अद्भुत दृश्य था वो। ऐसा था कि हम उसको देखते रहे हैं।
ओम तंबकम यजामहे सुगंधिम पुष्टिवर्धनम उर्वारुकमे बंधना मृत्यु मुक्ति मामुतम। ओम नमः शिवाय हर
जब महादेव को देखा तो आंख में ऐसे आंसू गिरते चले गए, बस लगा कि बस अब कुछ।
How was the experience?
No words to express. It's been awesome.
I'm so grateful to God that He has given me a chance to come here and see the divinity everywhere in there.
यहाँ आने से पहले ही 2 दिन पहले से बहुत ज़्यादा तबीयत खराब थी, बट वही है कि अब उनका बुलावा है तो व्हाई नॉट, वही करवाएंगे पूरी यात्रा मेरी।
Mount Kailash, located in the Tibet Autonomous Region's Gari Prefecture in China, is considered sacred in several religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism and Bon religion. It rises over 21,778 feet above sea level, beginning from Darchin, which is situated at a height of 15,338 feet.
We're currently at an altitude of about 15,100 feet. The lake that you see behind me is Rakshastal. This is barely a stone throw distance from Lake Mansarovar, amongst the world's highest freshwater lakes, and the difference couldn't be more stark. While at Lake Mansarovar, it is seen as a life-giving lake. Rakshastal, there is no life in this lake. While it's a huge, huge lake that you see around me, but there are no fish in this. People come here, they do pray here. However, they do not do a parikrama. They just come, pray, and then they leave. It is believed that Ravan, while praying to Lord Shiv, prayed at Rakshastal, and it's because of his sense of, he was so conceited that it did not bring the kind of glory that he sought, and even the water here turned salty.
The number of pilgrims visiting the sacred Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar in Tibet varies significantly, depending on the route chosen and the specific year. The Government of India operated tour datas. In pre-COVID period capped numbers strictly, averaging 1,000 to 1,350 pilgrims annually. After a 5-year suspension due to COVID-19 and diplomatic standoffs, the MEA route resumed in 2025. About 750 pilgrims were allowed. For the 2026 season, the government expanded this slightly to 20 batches, confirming roughly 24,000 seats. Historically, private operators have brought anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 plus pilgrims during a standard May to September window.
For the devotees of the Sanatan Dharma, you come, you take the holy water, you bathe in this holy water, and it cleanses your past sins. But that is symbolism. Beyond the symbolism, being here, undertaking this very difficult journey, it inspires you. It inspires you to be a better human being, to be in the land of the gods, the land of Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati, and get rid of your vices, anger, jealousy, hatred. Strive to be intelligent, strive to be compassionate, strive to be helpful. This journey is all about rediscovering yourself.
The entire circuit takes around 2 to 3 days for completion, with the highest point being the Dolmala Pass. It is situated at 18,471 feet. Both Indian and Chinese governments have been working hard to improve facilities throughout the route for a better pilgrimage experience.
Here in China, how have the arrangements been?
Arrangements were fantastic. We though faced little hassle in the immigration, but overall, then we were taken into the buses, and the journey was treatment was very good, like VIP treatment.
Any scope for improvement that you may want to suggest?
Not really. It was very nice during the yatra. All the days of yatra, it was enriching experience. I don't think, especially through MEA, it is very nice.
Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage numbers experience massive spikes during specific astrological years. 2026 is a fire horse year in the Tibetan zodiac. It is a rare spiritual alignment that happens only once every 60 years. In Tibetan and Hindu traditions, completing the 52-kilometer parikrama or the circumvallation around Mount Kailash during a horse year is believed to multiply spiritual merit 13-fold. Therefore, the pilgrim numbers have surged drastically. In 2025, around 20,750 pilgrims visited across all routes after the borders fully reopened. In 2026, close to 24,000 pilgrims have already completed the pilgrimage midway through the season.
What is equally remarkable about Lake Mansarovar and several lakes that emerge from the glaciers like Kailash Parvat and other glaciers here is that this is the cradle. This provides water for the Indus River, the Satluj River, the Karnali River, and the Brahmaputra River, known as the Yarlung Sangpo here. It flows out from here, from Tibet into India. More water and more tributaries join in, and then it becomes the mighty Brahmaputra, the Sindhu Saraswati Sabhyata as we know it. It's waters from here that is the cradle of the oldest and the most flourishing civilization that continues and continues to grow.
For Tibetan Buddhists, Mount Kailash, known as Gang Rinpoche, is the earthly manifestation of Mount Meru, the spiritual center of the universe. They believe the great saint Milarepa resided here. Performing the arduous Kora or circumambulation around its base purges a lifetime of sins, bringing practitioners closer to ultimate enlightenment.
Many devotees believe, and very strongly, that gods live here. They believe there are many mysteries around Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar that they cannot fathom. They cannot even dream of solving those mysteries. There are those with blind faith who insist that they can see Lord Shiv, they can see Ma Parvati. There are many who say that this region, Mount Kailash, which is seen as magnetic fields and compasses failing in this area, they believe that this is the center of the entire universe. That is why it is the home of Lord Shiv.
Hindus collect the pristine water of Mansarovar in copper, brass, or silver flasks. This water is believed to contain immense purifying properties. Yatris bring it home to share with family, sprinkle around their houses for purification, and preserve it for use in future sacred rituals, especially for Abhishekam or ritual bathing of Shivalingams.
Sharma ji, how was your experience?
So it was fantastic. My whole team is so excited before start of the journey, but after completion they feel like they have attained something, It's a memorable journey for us.
The Kailash Mansarovar Yatra is seen as attaining salvation, attaining moksha.
Right.
Do you feel as if you're closer to the Almighty, to Lord Shiv, to Ma Parvati? You've been blessed by them?
Absolutely, absolutely. We all feel like that, We have a different feeling we can't describe in words.
Those devotees who cannot walk avail of the pony service to complete the circumambulation.
So the holy Mount Kailash Yatra begins from this point. Till here, vehicles are permitted. Devotees, they reach here in buses or in cars or as part of their tours. And from here, those who can walk, they walk to the Yamdwar and then begin the parikrama. Those who cannot walk, they take porters and ponies. Yamdwar is seen as the beginning of the yatra. In fact, it is seen as the doorway of exiting this realm and entering the realm of Mahadev, the realm of Lord Shiv. Let's begin the journey.
As the turquoise water of Mansarovar shines behind them, with the Mount Kailash standing at a distance, pilgrims describe the experience as divine.
कैसी रही यात्रा आपकी?
पूर्ण समर्पित यात्रा, आध्यात्मिक यात्रा थी हमारी ये तीर्थ यात्रा नहीं थी, आध्यात्मिक यात्रा थी महादेव के लिए।
एकलव्य माँ की यात्रा कराई?
जी सर, माँ के लिए आए थे कि मैं तो अभी बहुत यंग हूँ, तो शायद मैं अध्यात्म और स्पिरिचुअलिटी जो बोलते हैं इतना नहीं समझ सकता हूँ, तो मेरा तो लक्ष्य था मेरी माँ की यात्रा पूरी कराना है। और हाँ, बस उन्हीं के लिए आया हूँ मैं यहाँ पे, और कोई कारण नहीं।
और आपको वो अनुभूति क्या थी जब पहली बार भगवान कैलाश में के दर्शन हुए और पर्वत के दर्शन हुए, लेकिन साक्षात शिव नजर आते?
इतना नहीं सोचा था, लेकिन जैसे हमने कैलाश पर्वत को देखा तो बस यही आया कि त्रेता युग में रावण आया था, द्वापर में पांडव आए थे, और कलयुग में मैं और मेरा बेटा आए। और जब महादेव को देखा तो आंख में ऐसे आंसू गिरते चले गए, बस लगा कि बस अब कुछ नहीं, हो गया, सब कुछ मिल गया जो पाना था। बस यही थी अनुभूति, और इसको वर्णन करना बहुत मुश्किल है।
Beyond the green cover, in these tracts of mountain desert, pilgrims go through spiritual experience that truly challenges physical limitations.
As we climb from the roadhead to the Yamdwar for our journey to the holy Kailash mountain, we cross this very pious land of the Buddhists. Now, Kailash Parvat is very auspicious, not just for Hindus, but also for the followers of Buddhism. Now, it is said this pole right behind me, the victory pole, was established by the 5th Dalai Lama in honor of those who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives, uniting Tibet under one flag. And every year, in the month of April, these flags are changed. That victory is celebrated.
At the Yamdwar in Darchin, considered to be the doorway of the god of death, Hindu and Buddhist devotees offer their prayers before starting the parikrama. They tie a sacred cloth, strike a gong, burn incense sticks, and keep offerings in the memory of the family members who have passed away.
This is the Yamdwar, the entrance or the entry to the Kailash Parvat for the Yatra. The significance is this is where you leave your worldly possessions behind and then enter into the realm of Lord Shiv. The belief is you want to emerge a better human being. So let's now enter. The parikrama is done thrice, and once the parikrama is done, then you enter the Yamdwar, and just look around. There's a sea of devotees from across the country. The Yamdwar is extremely significant because the Yamdwar signifies all the sins in the past have been left behind, and now you hope to emerge a better person. Just look at that beautiful mountain behind me there. Look at that magnificent mountain nestled in the clouds right now. That is the abode of Lord Shiv, and the Yatra. Extremely difficult, but it is the road to salvation. The Yatra begins.
When Hindu devotees cross over from one side of the small temple of Yamdwar to another, chanting Om Namah Shivaya, they believe they have crossed over from the Bhulok or earth to Kailash or the abode of Lord Shiva.
And after crossing the Yamdwar, we begin a part of this journey. While this journey is over 50 kilometers and takes 3 days, we are covering a part of this to be able to show you how there are certain facilities that have been improved over the years. In fact, even compared to last year, certain facilities have been improved. Tracks have been improved here. The Chinese authorities were just telling us that this track has been made entirely motorable in an emergency should there be a requirement to rescue any pilgrim who may require emergency help. So this track is now motorable for jeeps that is kitted up with like an ambulance and has doctors on board. As you see behind me, buses carrying pilgrims. There you see a bus. I'm sure you can see that bus there. Let me try and show it to you. So that bus can come up to an area, but beyond that, they're not making it into a metalled road. Beyond that, it will remain a track because they say while comfort of pilgrims is very important, so is environment.
The Chinese government recommends that the yatra should be undertaken by devotees who are aged less than 60 years. But that does not stop several Indian yatris from bringing devotion at the feet of Mount Kailash. Each year, things better a little compared to last. Yet there remains a lot to improve.
Saram, a lot of changes have been made, especially in the last couple of years. What are the changes that have been made to make this journey more comfortable for devotees and pilgrims?
So for the pilgrims as compared to the past few years, so every year is changing a lot. For example, the main thing is for the accommodation for yatri. Lots of tea shops are with a better condition. Every year is getting better. And the second one is the main thing. You see, the road conditions. Except only that the secondary parts. So from the both way, the government push a lot of effort to make every year make this road better conditions.
And as we move forward on this journey, this is a very tough journey, no doubt. It's difficult to breathe. You are at an altitude of over 15,000 feet and breathing becomes very difficult here. But it's the devotion that carries you through. Devotion in Lord Shiv.
Buddhist devotees keep the skeletal remains of a yak's horns and head as a means of gratitude after their wish is believed to be fulfilled. Hindu pilgrims actively look for and collect smooth, natural stones or pebbles from the banks of Lake Mansarovar or along the arduous 52-kilometer parikrama route around Mount Kailash. The southern face of Mount Kailash is viewed by Hindus as a massive, natural cosmic Shivalingam. Because of this, the rocks and pebbles found in its immediate vicinity are not viewed as mere stones, but as fragments radiating the residual yogic energy of Lord Shiva. These stones, often referred to as Kailash Shilas, are carried back to be placed permanently in home altars. They are treated as self-manifested idols or Swayambhu and are worshipped daily.
For centuries, devotees have been facing hardships taking this very, very difficult pilgrimage. And it is an extremely difficult pilgrimage. In the good old days, when people left for the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, they were almost written off, that it was a blessing if they returned.
Unlike the arduous past single route, today there are three primary routes for this yatra. The oldest of these three is through Lipu Lake Pass in Uttarakhand. Starting from Delhi via Almora, pilgrims reach Dharchula. From there they travel to Gunji, cross Lipu Lake Pass to reach Taklakot in Tibet border, and then Lake Mansarovar, and finally Mount Kailash. This route takes approximately 22 to 25 days and is a physically demanding journey that involves extensive high-altitude trekking. Second is the Nathula Pass in Sikkim. Starting from Gangtok, crossing through Nathula Pass, pilgrims reach Lhasa or Shigatse. Then Taklakot first to Lake Mansarovar, and then finally Mount Kailash. This route takes approximately 21 to 23 days. It requires minimal trekking on the way to the base camp, as the vast majority of the journey is covered by motorable roads and scenic drives through Sikkim and the Tibetan plateau. And then there is the Kathmandu route, and is the most popular, flexible, and frequently used route, entirely run by private tour operators. There are two main travel options. In the overland option, pilgrims drive from Kathmandu to the Nepal-Tibet border at Kurong and then travel across the Tibetan plateau by road to Mansarovar. It takes around 13 to 14 days. Second is the helicopter option, which is a much faster alternative, where pilgrims fly from Kathmandu to Simikot and then take a brief helicopter ride to the Hilsa border and then drive to Taklakot. This option takes about 9 to 11 days.
A sea of devotees on the roof of the world here in Tibet. A very large number of pilgrims and tourists are arriving in droves for the holy Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar Yatra. If you just look at the numbers, last year when the Yatra started once again after COVID-19 and the 2020 Galwan standoff, you had about 20,000 plus pilgrims in the entire Yatra season. But this year, the season has just started and you already have 1,000 pilgrims who are on the government quota and 24,000 pilgrims who've already arrived through private tour operators, and the season is expected to last till September. And The Chinese authorities we've spoken to tell us that this is part of the people-to-people engagement effort that was started after Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping met on the sidelines of the BRICS summit at Kazan in Russia. Now the effort is to bring even more pilgrims for the holy Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar pilgrimage. The effort is to find new routes. Yes, you have the Lipu Lake route. Of course, there are some problems with the Lipu Lake route now with Nepal. However, the traditional route, the Nathula route, the government is bringing pilgrims through the Nathula Sikkim route into Tibet and then for the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. And of course, private tour operators, they heli-lift pilgrims, bring them over to Tibet, and they come here where we are standing right now in Darchin, the holy Mount Kailash in one direction and Lake Mansarovar just a little distance away. This is of course 15,100 feet altitude and you require tremendous acclimatization. But for the pilgrims who carry out not just the yatra but also the parikrama of Lake Mansarovar and the holy Mount Kailash, they say it's divine blessings of Lord Shiv that they've been able to do it, and they'll encourage others to do so. Gaurav Sawant in Darchin, Tibet for India Today Global.